Right, so get this. You guys sent in some pretty amazing footage of what could be UFO sightings, and we are going to take a deep dive into all of it.
Wow.
We're talking glowing orbs over Brisbane, a vanishing saucer in South Carolina, and even a mysterious triangular craft that was spotted in space over Brazil.
Yeah, it's really incredible what people are managing to capture these days,
I know, it's amazing, right?
especially with the technology that's available.
Yeah, it really is.
It's pretty remarkable.
Okay, let's start with this Brisbane sighting.
Okay.
So this footage was captured from a weather camera, and all of a sudden this object just like increases in brightness like tenfold.
Wow.
It's like someone went from a dim bulb to like a massive spotlight.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that before in other UFO sightings?
Yeah, it's definitely a pattern we see.
Really?
Yeah, we often see these sudden bursts of light right before UFOs seem to accelerate rapidly.
Hmm.
It's almost as if they need that burst of energy for propulsion, you know?
Oh, that's interesting.
Like it's fueling them up somehow.
Yeah. Is there any scientific explanation that we could try to
Well,
use to explain that?
there's this theory about plasma discharge.
Okay.
And think about what you see during a thunderstorm or even near the International Space Station.
Uh-huh.
It's basically a release of energy that creates a bright flash of light.
Okay.
Now, whether UFOs are harnessing that energy or it's just a byproduct of whatever they're doing, that's the question.
Right.
We don't really know.
Yeah. Okay, so let's shift gears over to South Carolina.
Okay.
We have a witness who at first thought they were looking at a blimp
Oh, wow.
or maybe a weird cloud, but then it becomes very clear that it's a saucer-shaped object, metallic gray, and get this, it has this strange, almost anti-gravity wobble to it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, how wild is that?
I know, right? That anti-gravity wobble is something we see a lot in saucer sightings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even Bob Lazar, who claims to have worked on back-engineered alien craft,
Right.
talks about this type of movement. It's definitely intriguing.
Yeah, but what really gets me is that then this object seems to cloak itself.
What?
I mean, you can still see its outline against the sky like a distortion, but it's almost like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
That's wild.
It is wild.
What's fascinating to me here is the level of technology needed to create that kind of cloaking effect.
Yeah.
It's not just invisibility,
Right.
it's bending light itself.
Exactly. And then just like that Brisbane sighting, boom, another bright blue flash, and the object disappears.
Wow.
Could that be more plasma discharge, or are we looking at something totally different?
Potentially. I mean, the fact that these seemingly unrelated events share these elements is definitely something to think about.
It really is. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
final stop on our world tour of UFO sightings. We are headed to Brazil.
Okay.
We have footage from a retired police officer who is now a dedicated sky watcher.
Wow.
So you knows what he's looking at.
Right.
He captures this triangular UFO
Hmm.
that seems to be blending in with the stars.
Ah, yes, triangular UFOs, what are often referred to as TR3Bs. These are a particularly fascinating category. We
Right.
have so many reports of these triangular formations of lights just silently moving through the sky.
And this one is no exception.
Uh-huh.
It's got 3 lights at the corners of the triangle, and then wait for it, a 4th light pops up, detaches from the triangle, and starts flashing and changing colors.
No way.
I mean, what do you even make of that?
Well, it's definitely a more complex observation than a simple static object.
Right.
That 4th light moving independently really suggests a higher level of technology or intelligence, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It adds like another layer of intrigue to this whole thing.
Yeah.
And the big question, of course, are these crafts extraterrestrial, or are they perhaps some super advanced human technology that we just don't know about yet?
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
We may never know for sure, but that's part of what makes all of this so fascinating. It really pushes the boundaries of what we know and forces us to consider what might be out there.
It really does. You know, it's interesting because we're seeing these like recurring patterns in all these sightings, the sudden bursts of light, the cloaking those triangular formations.
Right.
It really makes you wonder if there's a connection, some underlying intelligence or technology that we're just starting to glimpse.
I think that's a great observation.
Yeah.
It's certainly not random.
Right.
These patterns suggest a level of intentionality,
Yeah.
perhaps even a specific purpose behind these sightings. It makes you think, what are we actually witnessing here?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out, right?
Yeah,
And that's where you come in, dear listener.
exactly.
We always want to hear your thoughts, your experiences, maybe even your own sightings.
Right.
You never know, your observation could be the missing piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely. Every piece of information, every perspective contributes to our understanding of this phenomenon. Citizen science is crucial in UFO research.
I love that. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture here.
Okay.
What does it mean for humanity if we're truly not alone in the universe? I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
It's a question that has fascinated humanity for centuries.
It really has.
The implications are profound, touching
Mhm.
everything from our understanding of our place in the cosmos to the potential for technological advancements, even the nature of consciousness itself.
Whoa, that's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is.
I guess that's why we're so drawn to this topic, right?
Yeah.
It challenges us to think beyond our everyday reality
Ah.
and to consider the truly extraordinary.
Exactly. It sparks our curiosity, fuels our imagination, and reminds us just how much we still don't know about the universe.
For sure, of course, not everyone believes in UFOs.
Oh, right.
There are skeptics out there who dismiss these sightings as hoaxes or misidentified objects, even wishful thinking. What do you say to those who aren't quite ready to jump on the UFO bandwagon?
While skepticism is important, we should approach these sightings with a critical eye and rule out any conventional explanations before jumping to conclusions. But it's equally important to be open to the possibility that there are things out there that we don't yet understand.
So it's about finding that balance between healthy skepticism and open-mindedness.
Precisely. And that's why it's so crucial to have these conversations, to share evidence, to debate different perspectives, and to encourage further research. That's how we get closer to the truth.
That's how we do it. And who knows, maybe someday we'll have definitive proof of extraterrestrial life that would certainly change everything.
Can you imagine?
Uh,
Imagine the possibilities. If we could make contact, learn from these beings, share knowledge and technology, it could be the biggest leap forward for humanity.
Okay, so let's say for a moment that some of these UFOs are indeed extraterrestrial.
Okay.
What do you think their technology might be like? I mean, it's clearly beyond anything we can currently comprehend.
Based on these sightings, it seems they have technology far beyond anything we've developed. I mean, think about it. Interstellar travel, cloaking devices, manipulating gravity, maybe even traveling between dimensions. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the future holds for us. Will we ever unlock those kinds of secrets ourselves? I guess only time will tell now before we move on. I want to go back to that cloaking effect we saw in the South Carolina footage.
Okay.
Do you think that points to advanced technology, or could there be another explanation?
It's certainly suggestive of advanced technology, but it's important not to jump to conclusions. There could be natural phenomena we haven't discovered yet that could create similar visual effects. Some researchers believe that certain atmospheric conditions could create temporary distortions in light, which could make objects appear to vanish or reappear.
So maybe not necessarily aliens with cloaking devices.
Not necessarily.
Well, I guess that's a relief.
But it's a possibility we can't rule out, and that's the beauty of this field, the constant potential for new discoveries and insights.
This is a fascinating field. Okay, one last question before we move on.
Okay.
Those triangular UFOs, the TR-3Bs, are there any theories about where they come from, extraterrestrial or something else entirely?
There's a lot of speculation surrounding TR-3Bs, but no definitive answers. Some people believe they're advanced aircraft developed by secret government programs. Others believe they're extraterrestrial. There's even a theory that they're interdimensional craft capable of moving between different dimensions or realities.
Whoa, now we're getting into some serious sci-fi territory. But hey, who are we to say what's possible?
Exactly.
What science fiction today could be reality tomorrow?
That's right. And that's why it's so important to keep an open mind and continue exploring the unknown. The answers to these mysteries could be closer than we think.
Well, that's all the time we have for this segment of our deep dive into UFO sightings. But don't go anywhere just yet.
Yeah, stick around.
We've got more incredible footage to analyze and even more mind-boggling questions to ponder. Welcome back to our deep dive, everybody. Before we took that little pause, we were talking about these TR-3Bs and how they're kind of shrouded in mystery.
They really are.
We've got, tons of speculation, but no one seems to know for sure what they actually are. It's kind of like trying to solve a puzzle with some of the pieces missing, right?
Yeah, it is. And it's fascinating to see how these TR-3B sightings fit into the bigger picture of all this UFO stuff.
Exactly.
Like, are they government projects, visitors from other planets, or just something totally different?
Right.
Those are questions we're all still kind of grappling with.
Yeah, and you know what really gets me about all this is that all these UFO sightings,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's, glowing orbs or triangular craft or whatever.
Right.
They really make you think about everything, you know?
Yeah.
They really challenge our understanding of what's possible and what's out there,
Yeah.
and it forces us to confront the unknown.
Absolutely.
I bet you've had some moments like that in your research over the years.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Even after years of studying this subject, there are still times when I'm just completely blown away, you know? The
Really?
universe is just full of mysteries, and I think that's part of what makes it so fascinating.
It really is. I mean, even like on a personal level,
Yeah.
it's really captivating.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask the question that I think is on everyone's mind.
Okay.
Why are they here? What's the purpose of these visits? I mean, it's not like they're just popping in for a cup of tea, are they?
Well, we can only speculate, of course.
Right.
Some theories suggest they're just here to observe us, study our civilization, maybe even learn from us.
Okay.
Others say they might be here to guide us,
Oh,
help us evolve. And then, of course, there are some people who believe their intentions might not be so friendly.
yeah. I have to say that thought is a little unnerving. The idea of being studied or guided by beings we don't even
I
understand.
know it's kind of like realizing you're not the only player in the game anymore.
Yeah, it is a humbling realization for sure. But imagine if we could actually communicate with these beings,
Yeah.
learn from their technology, share knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the biggest leap forward in human history.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so let's play that scenario out for a second. Let's say we do make contact,
Right.
and these UFOs are really extraterrestrial.
Right.
What do you think their technology would be like? We're talking beings who can travel across galaxies, right?
Their technology would have to be light years ahead of anything we can even imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Interstellar travel, cloaking devices, manipulating gravity, maybe even bending time and space.
Yeah.
It would revolutionize everything we understand about physics and the universe.
Yeah, it's almost beyond comprehension. But hey, maybe someday we'll unlock some of those secrets ourselves.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll be the ones out there exploring the stars. But for now, we can just keep watching, keep learning, keep asking questions.
Exactly.
What do you think is like the most important takeaway from all these sightings? For you personally?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that we just need to stay open to possibilities. We can't be afraid to question, to explore, to challenge our assumptions about the universe. You know, the answers to these mysteries might be closer than we think.
That's a good point. Well said.
Yeah.
And that's where you, our listeners, come in. Your observations, your experiences, your questions, they all contribute to this journey of exploration.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to share what you've seen or what you're thinking. You never know. Your insight could be the key to solving one of these big mysteries.
That's right. Citizen science is such a valuable tool for UFO research. The more eyes on the sky, the more data we collect, the closer we get to understanding what's really out there.
So there you have it, everybody. That was our deep dive into the world of UFO sightings. We covered glowing orbs, vanishing saucers, mysterious triangular craft. I mean, the whole shebang.
It's been a wild ride.
We explored theories, examined patterns, and we really dug deep into some of the biggest questions about our place in the universe.
It did.
And it's been an incredible journey, and I really hope it's inspired you to keep looking up, keep wondering, and keep exploring.
Me too.
The universe is just bursting with mysteries, just waiting to be uncovered.
It is.
So until next time, keep those cameras rolling, keep those eyes on the sky, and keep sending us your sightings. You never know what we might discover together.